Get ready to jump, roll, and crash through a lane like no other because we're diving straight into the action of Donkey Kong Country right here at Super Nintendo World. And we'll get to chat with someone who knows every barrel blast and jungle turn, Creative Director Andrew Padua from Universal Creative. Let's go. All right, Andrew, thanks so much for joining me today. As someone who grew up as a fan of these video game series, what goes on through your head as you walk in and see this land that you've helped create?
There's so much to consider, honestly, when you're talking about being a fan. It's so critical for us to make sure that we're honoring everything that's familiar, everything that's fantastic. There's so much to really integrate into this space and make it beautiful. This space in particular, Donkey Kong Country, is really critical on being a bit of a departure from Super Mario Land. When you come through here, it's not until you get into this back recess corner that people come through this tunnel and they're just like blown away by what they find back here.
So you mentioned a lot of detail. What are some things guests might want to keep an eye out for as they walk through the land?
Minecart Madness being the premier element in this space. There are traditional elements that are always in the games. Discovery draws the guests and the players through all these different parts of the land. They want to find all these elements in themselves.
So you mentioned Minecart Madness.
Yes.
I think we've done enough talking here. Let's go check it out.
I'm so excited.
All right, we're outside of Minecart Madness, and before we get into the groundbreaking technology of this ride, I first gotta know, Andrew, what's the story behind this attraction?
Minecart Madness is an opportunity for us to join the Kong family. And what's happened is here, there is a golden banana, and Tiki Tong and his clan, the Tiki Tak tribe, are trying to steal it. So what we want to do is we want to join those adventurers careening through all of these spaces and chase the Tiki Tak tribe out of here, keeping the golden banana safe.
Andrew, we've got to talk about this. How did the team bring that classic barrel blasting, track jumping feel from the games into a ride?
Well, finding the right ride system, and in this case, developing the kind of ride system that really works for the story that you're trying to tell is such a critical part. All the dips and dives and rolls that are happening on this attraction, it takes an army, honestly.
I mean, I've gotten to ride this a couple times, and every time I'm riding it, I'm always caught by surprise. So as someone who worked on this coaster, I'm always curious, what's going through your head?
Story, honestly. Whenever we're developing these things, we're thinking about the guests, we're thinking about the guest experience, because that's what we want. We want guests to get off of this understanding what they went through, what they experienced, and how much of a good time they had.
Woo! After all that action, guests will finally get a chance to meet the most famous resident of Donkey Kong Country, Donkey Kong himself. Andrew, I know it's a little too early for him to be out here, but what can fans expect from this meet and greet?
So Donkey Kong obviously is this massive, bigger than life experience that guests will be able to come out here, get fist bumps and high fives and really having a great time with them. They're all gonna be able to get in here, get a picture with them. They're gonna love it.
Well, I can't wait to meet him later, but right now, let's go check out some of the interactive elements of this land. Beyond the ride and character moments, guests can actually jump into the action with the Powerup band. How do they work in Donkey Kong Country?
Very similar to how they work in Super Mario Land and the entirety of Super Nintendo World. Here you can activate elevated experiences within the world in itself. It's not necessary, there's a lot of interactive, there's a lot of fun and play that guests can have in this space, but it does track a lot of the interactivity that you've already experienced. There might be a few added surprises knowing that you've been either there before or you've ridden the ride before, a couple other elements. I won't say it's really a great option.
All right, so speaking of surprises, there are so many hidden around this land. What's one thing that you can tell us that guests definitely shouldn't miss?
Oh, absolutely, that would be Rambi here. You don't need a band for this interactive, but it certainly elevates the experience in itself. But we invite guests to come along, play these bongos, find a certain rhythm, and really give them the opportunity to serenade Rambi out of his crate and activate the round.
Well, big thanks to you, Andrew, and Universal Creative for letting us experience Donkey Kong Country in a whole new way.
Genuinely a dream come true for us.
Literally from barrel blast to jungle adventures, this place is filled with non-stop fun, and it's all waiting for you right here in Super Nintendo World at Universal Epic Universe. See you in the jungle.